But what about editing on a computer? It's a question we get asked a lot because we work with smartphone video so much. And we're going to answer this today with an awesome tutorial about editing on a computer with Davinci Resolve 16. My name is Dean Parman from Travelvids.tv, the place where you get to learn how to make videos the easy way. And this is the editing tutorial walkthrough for Davinci Resolve 16. So why Davinci Resolve 16? What was the reason for that? Well, there's two actually. The first one is because it's free. And the second is because it's both available on Mac and PC. As a Mac user, my first choice in editing app is Final Cut Pro 10, Final Cut Pro X. But in this case, I wanted to make a tutorial that was accessible to both and that it was free. Now, does this mean that it's an inferior editing suite? Actually, no, not at all. Davinci Resolve is a fully comprehensive, all-out, uber-duper flippin' cool. It's got everything you could ever possibly need. And even in the free version, you've got everything you need. Also, they've laid out the system very nicely with separate tabs across the bottom of the screen, which you'll see just now, which actually take you through the editing process from beginning to end, from the import to the trimming, editing, adding your special effects, and then exporting. Final Cut for me has a much easier layout when you get into it. It seems more simple than Davinci Resolve, which is full of buttons and full of options and a whole bunch of things. But at the end of the day, if you know what you're looking for, you can ignore all of that and just go straight for that button, that one, and get done with the edit. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we want you to achieve. We want you to have filmed some clips of a moment, of an experience, whatever it is that you captured, and get it into a compiled edit as fast and as easy as possible. So that's why we did this tutorial. We want to show you how to make that video in Davinci Resolve right now. So I'm going to go over to my computer over there and walk you through the process from beginning till end. First things first, let's open Davinci Resolve 16. Now, if this is the first time you're opening a desktop editing app, or in this case, the first time you're opening Davinci Resolve, we're going to look at it from a complete and utter fresh start. I haven't got any other projects in here before. So you'll get this window that pops up that'll ask you to open an old project. We don't have any, so at the bottom here, we're going to start a new project. Always name your project so you can find it again later in the screen. This is the coffee shop edit, and let's create that. All right, welcome to the Davinci Resolve 16 interface. Now, for a lot of people, this can be quite overwhelming, especially depending on what screen you land on. With all these different controls and settings, it might feel like you've arrived in the cockpit of an aircraft with a million buttons. My intention with this tutorial is to take you through the process step by step from beginning to end, and only look at exactly what we need to get a video from clips that you've now stored on your computer to a finished edit that you can upload to a platform online or share with your friends and family. The great thing about Davinci Resolve is that they have these chapter markers at the bottom here, these tabs, which take you through the process from beginning to end. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the media cut and a little bit at the edit. We'll skip over the effects and then also just look at the exporting options, which will be nice and quick and easy. All right, first thing, we're going to start at this tab here. So make sure you've clicked on the media tab. And in this area over here, you can browse your computer. In my case, I've stored my clips on the hard drive under a folder called footage. We open that up and here they are. So you can select only one or two if you want, and when you've got those, you drag them into this area at the bottom here, which is called your media pool. You can just drop those in there. If this pops up, it means that the project settings have been auto-created. if this will ask to sync the whatever these clips are with that, and I would click change, because this way it'll automatically make the right project settings for me for these clips. Then you could go to a different folder and find clips from a different project or from a different shoot and merge them all up into this pool here. In my case, I want all of these, because as you've seen in our course or in our tutorials, you must always get exactly what you need and only what you need into the editing program. And also always make sure that they're nice and short, those 4 to 6 second clips. So we're only working with exactly what we want. All right, so these are the ones that I have prepped from my shot list, and I'm going to work with them. So we can move straight on to the second tab, which is the cut tab. Here we have 3 main components on our screen. This is where the media is, the media pool that we've just created. Over here will be our preview once we get our timeline building, and then at the bottom here we have a dual timeline, a split timeline. There's a overview at the top here, this little narrow piece, and then a big broad timeline to see the actual clips here. You'll see why that is there in just a moment. The idea in the cut tab is for us to place the clips in the right order into the timeline, to trim them down, and also to make sure that they are in the right order, as I just said, and you can always move them around if they're not. The best way to do this is you can kind of scrub over them to see if it's the right clip for now. If you can't see like this, you can always drag them into the timeline, just drop that there, and then you can scrub over here to make sure that it definitely is the clip you were looking for. Then you just take a moment to go put the rest of the clips in, and drag them in, slide to the back of the timeline, and pick the next one. From that, we're going to get some water, and the next one will be actually the filling of the water, the nice close-up, and let's get the coffee in there. Let's pour some water over that, and yeah, that's the next one. Let's go with this one, and serving us, and then me receiving it. And we've still got this wide. Okay, that one we're going to want to put in the front somewhere. So I forgot that here. So this is a good opportunity to show you what it looks like if we want to take that one and squash it in there. And you see it's a nice long clip. It just moves it around. So you can grab these and move them to a new location if you need to. When you're moving them around, you must just be careful not to drop them on top like this, because it'll go into a second track, which is great for overlays and B-roll. We're not going to go into that in this video, but that's how you do it. Also, if you're dropping it in the second one, just make sure that you wait till you see that little highlighted blue mark like that. There again, and you let go, because then it'll actually place it between the clips and not overlay them. Just a small thing to look out for. But there's that one. Okay, and all the way to the back again. We want to get this one with the owner of the coffee shop just telling us a little bit about it. That's it. And sometimes I like to just use the sign board, that one, at the back again. So you can drag and drop it into here as well. All right, so that's me and my timeline. I'm pretty happy with that sort of layout, and we're going to play through it. So the next phase of the edit is to cut, as the tab suggests. We're going to use our counting method, as we did with the filming, to just get the right amount of beats for this edit. So we first want to find the right part, the start. Often there's a little bit of a shake in the beginning. Sometimes we want to clip that off. So once you've got that there, you can highlight that, push trim, and you'll see it'll split this clip into two. You take the little one and you delete it. Now we know we've got the right start, and as I push spacebar, which is to play, I go and 1 and 2 and cut. That little bit at the end, again, I'm going to cut that off over there, highlight the little piece. To delete that, I can select it here because it's a whole lot bigger and just hit delete, and that's gone. So the next one, wait for my start point. That's not it. And just wait for it. And there we go. So again, we're going to highlight that over there. We're going to cut that, take the front piece and delete it. And now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. I'm going to cut that and delete the back section because I don't need it. Now in my case, I already know these are going to be too long, so I'm going to make them even shorter. So and 1 and 2 and plenty. I don't want more than that. I can just trim that down with the handlebar. So and 1 and 2 and stop. Highlight. You can either cut and trim and delete it as I did earlier, or you can grab this handlebar, that, and drag it down. All right, next one. To the clip.
Actually get the real taste of the bean.
There we go. I'm going to highlight that, trim it, take the piece, delete it.
The bean.
See, I didn't like that beginning section, so we trim that off, delete, and 1 and that's it. 1 and cut. Delete that, go. And 1 and cut, and 1 and no. Don't want that section. Let's move that. Let's go clip it off, take that, delete, and 1 and done. Trim. So this is how it's supposed to be. Your clips are short, you're flying through it, you wait for the focus, we trim the front off, and 1 and cut. And every time I say cut, I'm pushing the space bar to stop it again. So space to play. So let's go to the front of the clip. And there we go. I need to get rid of the front. And I'm going to hit space to play and space to stop. So space and 1 and cut. Hit the space bar again. Tap that, cut it, highlight and delete. And because we've had so many 1s back to back, we're going to now go with a little bit more of a say a 2 beat. So and 1 and 2 and cut. Drop that off. And here we go again. Let's clip that off. Don't want the front. And 1 and 2 and cut. So it's just that little piece left on there. I'm just going to drag that off like that.
Say that again. Here you go.
So you can see I missed the shot. He said, here you go. And then I missed it. I wasn't recording, so I asked him to do it again.
Say that again.
See that? So we definitely don't want me saying that. We're going to clip that off.
Here you go.
There we go. Don't want the rest of that clip, so we get rid of it. Nice and short and sweet. Perfect. Again, we want to keep them short and sweet, so we clip off that front. I don't need the whole motion because the viewer already understands that the coffee's arriving. There we go. That's it. Don't need more. I didn't even count that, but I know that it's probably and 1 and cut. It's a feeling that you start developing the more you count it out. So you do get used to it. See, everybody knows I'm taking a sip. We don't need the full thing. I'm going to lose this front section.
Oh wow, that is amazing. What are you thinking?
You know, we wanted people to get in touch.
So there's again a pause in front of the jowl here. We go there. I want to trim that off so it gets straight from me going ee to the talking. Let's have a look at how that looks.
What are you thinking?
And you know, we wanted people to get in touch with where coffee comes from, whether it's the green, the producers, but as well as who roasts the coffee. It doesn't come from some mysterious factory in Italy. We roast it right here.
That's it, and its origin. We leave that a little bit longer for the outro. That's long enough. We drag it down. Okay. So that is my edit that I want. So that's the cut phase finished. Now some people will add a music clip in the next phase or later. I like to do it here already. So you can either go back to your media pool and drag it in here, but I just want to show you a different way. You can also drag and drop things straight into this window. So if I take a music track like this one and drop it there. So you don't have to go through the media pool, you can just drop clips of music in here. Once it's here, like with the video clips, you can drag it down into your timeline. Just make sure you're putting it in the right place, right up at the front there. Alright, now you can see the music track's way longer than the video, so already at the back here, just going to highlight the music, make a cut in it. So you treat the soundtrack exactly like you would the video tracks. Select that and it's gone. Well, I made it a bit short, I can make it a bit longer. Alright, so next step. Now that everything's in place, obviously the levels are off and everything like that. So under edit, we just want to make sure that we're getting the sound all right. In my case, I already pre-deleted the sound on some of these, but I'm going to show you how I did that, which is like this. So we're going to push play. Alright, you can hear that's way too loud over there. This ambient sound here, I didn't like it either. So when you hover over the soundtrack level here in this timeline, just click and pull it down to somewhere like that, -6. It's just ambient background now. But when somebody's talking, you want to bring the sound right down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this over here with this tool. Make it cut, and then at the back of the clip again, you see it locks onto that, cut, and we have a little piece here where he's talking. So now, if we go back to this tool, these are the two tools that you're going to need, the select tool and the blade tool. And you can grab that audio, same as we did the other one, and bring it down. So have a listen now.
Get the real taste of the bean. Here you go. Oh wow. That is good.
So from about there, we're going to make another cut with this one. There, and another cut right at the end after all the speaking's done. Go back to the select tool, grab that sound level there and just pull it down to somewhere like that. In fact, the sound was a bit loud throughout, so we're going to pull that one down a little bit too. So let's see.
Here you go. Oh wow. That is good.
You know, we wanted people to get in touch with where coffee comes from, whether it's the green, the producers.
See, so in my case, I would take for this last section, make another cut there, and bring this down even further. That's it.
You know, we wanted people to get in touch with where coffee comes from, whether it's the green, the producers, but as well as
further. Let's go -12.
You know, we wanted people to get in touch with where coffee comes from, whether it's the green, the producers, but as well as who roasts the coffee. It doesn't come from some mysterious factory in Italy. We roast it right here.
And then that one's a bit too loud again, so we'll bring that down. All right, and then we're definitely going to want to put a bit of a fade on the back of that. So a quick tip for that is if you highlight the back end, you can always see there's that little icon that pops up when you're between two clips. If you click there, it'll highlight the space between two clips, and you can push the Control T or Command T to add in a transition. So that's what I did here, and it's got a crossfade automatically. See, so it fades out. We can add one at the back here as well. There you go, and it will fade out nicely. So that's basically all I really needed to achieve in this video, is that I wanted to get through it pretty quickly. That's a perfect little short story for a platform like Instagram, even YouTube. We could add a little bit more talking in about what this video is about. But you can see I've used that 10-shot template to make a short little story about our experience of hand roasted coffee at this place here in Cape Town called Origin. Next step then, because we're going to skip over all the fancy stuff today, is go to deliver. And the main thing that you can focus on here, ignore everything except this here. See that YouTube icon? Click on that, and it'll set up the video, all the settings inside, so that when you export it, it's for YouTube. You can just make sure that you're not doing a direct upload, because this is just to get the settings right. You want that H.264 compression codec. Okay, so once you've got that, name your video. This is going to be the coffee shop preview. And we're going to browse. I want to just put that on my desktop for now. And let's save. Alright, so your settings are all ready to go. Then you add it to the render queue. This is where it makes a job card for that. And basically you can just open the menu if you only have this one and start the render. It's going to process the video for you quickly. It takes a moment only with a short video like this. It can take, a little bit longer with long videos, but that's it, completed. And on my desktop, as quick as that, we have ready to go.
Actually get the real taste of the bean.
So that was the introduction, just a quick overview of the first 4 tabs that are important to make a video in a matter of minutes. So we can definitely go into a couple of other things in the next lessons. For example, to show you how to layer up things, something that looks a little bit like this.
We wanted people to get in touch with where coffee comes from, whether it's the green, the producers, but as well as who roasts the coffee. It doesn't come in some mysterious factory in Italy.
You get the idea, but we'll get into that in the next lesson. For now, you have what you need to make a cool short video. I look forward to seeing your results. Send them our way, tag us in it, and yeah, all the best with your editing. Have fun. I hope that this tutorial was helpful to give you a first view of how to get an edit together from beginning to end using this program. Davinci Resolve obviously has a ton of other features, and there are also a lot of other extra steps that we want to introduce you to as in future lessons, like overlaying clips on top of each other for B-roll segments, and music editing, and color correction, and sound editing. There's all these special, things that we can do, and we will get to that. But right now, the most important part was for you to be able to make a video quickly and easily. And with today's video, you should be able to do that. So, good luck out there, have fun, and as usual, if you have questions, pop them underneath in the comments section. You can also click through to learn more about how to get the right clips for your video so that this editing process becomes as easy as it was here in our course, Effortless Editing for Smartphone Video. My name's Dean Parman from Travelvids.tv, the place you get to learn how to make videos the easy way, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Cheers.